We live.
Fantasy football crew.
Fantasy football crew. Week 2.
We might be official next week with some shirts.
Maybe.
Shirts, you know?
That and this week we'll try to be a little bit more funny, I guess.
Yeah.
Somebody said it.
Not
they was
funny.
expecting a little bit more. They weren't expecting the serious facts. I guess he thinks because we clown so much, I guess he didn't know we knew fantasy knowledge. Maybe. I don't know.
Who's getting the video this week? We're going to keep that quiet.
Ooh. Okay, so kick things off. Let's talk about a little bit of news around the league. A couple injuries happened.
Nick Foles. Guys.
Tevin Coleman. Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold.
Who was he kissing?
I think Sam Darnold was sharing the same tequila bottle after Roe, Tillman, Paul. Ended up with the mono. I don't know.
Positive test for mono?
Positive. That's not a false positive. That's positive. He's positive for
Several
mono.
weeks they say though.
And then Tyreek Hill. Poor Mo. Trying to make them move.
Still trying to make this move. Never sent me nothing.
But
Nick Foles though, man.
I mean, in a 2-quarterback league, a quarterback goes down is always a big thing.
But his backup came in and did like 22 for 25, I think it was.
They saying he's a good dude.
Well, he was supposed to be the backup at Alabama last year.
Yeah.
So I mean,
the only thing that worries me is they did go out and sign this. They did go trade for a Steelers backup quarterback,
Josh Doxson.
Which the only thing that worries me is like, if he's your guy, why wouldn't you just sign somebody off the street, like a veteran?
Why would you trade?
What
5th round pick
for? If you got faith in him, why would you go ahead and make that trade? Kind of worries me.
But the Jacksonville team scares me though.
Oh, the whole team now.
Jalen Ramsey's a punk.
The whole team.
Punk, not a punk. A punk.
When you had, I was going out and probably trying to buy stock in the D.D. Westbrook at the beginning of the season because of Nick Foles.
And who drafted him? Amon drafted him high.
Yeah, and then he released him. Cut him like that. So aside from injuries, AB, we still got that fiasco.
That's like an ongoing circus right there. I mean, 1 week
the Barnum and Baileys came to town.
Like I don't know. I think some you follow that guy. Shit, it's a guy like a troll on Twitter.
Yeah.
Barry.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
He reported that AB called Mike Mayock a cracker. So that's where that came from.
Right.
You got all that fiasco now. You got. Still like they released him and everything. But I don't think he wanted to be.
He called him a cracker. I mean, what a cracker? Is he a moan? That sounds like that sounds something a moan would say.
He said something for the draft guy.
Exactly.
But like the AB topic though, I don't think he wanted to be in. We wasn't supposed to touch this all fully, but I don't think he wanted to be in the Raiders organization just because the Patriots say they try to trade for him.
Yeah. When it was Pittsburgh.
But they didn't want to trade him for a rival.
Yeah.
I think he just still think AB got CTE.
I think it might be a little bit of him being crazy, but also a little bit of Ian's favorite word, collusion. I do think it's a little bit of collusion.
And you see another thing is, I think he's trying to follow that Randy Moss route.
But he's not Randy Moss. I mean,
he has some.
He's great. He's a good receiver. He's great.
He just got a lot of baggage.
You can be great and not be a legend. It's cool. You can be great. You can be good. You know, like some of y'all teams. Like, they good. They're not legendary. Not great. Exactly. So, next topic. Let's move in. Todd Gurley. Not to keep picking on Amon, but I feel like he had a rough week. And the rankings kind of reflect that. But Todd Gurley.
He's scared. I don't know if he's scared. Like this early, I don't know if he's scared. I think it's precaution.
A little bit.
But you give Malcolm Brown goal line reps.
When you have Todd Gurley.
When you got Todd Gurley.
I feel like if you want
best running back in the league, he's healthy.
Not according to some people.
And who going to trade for Zeke?
But
we had a 30-minute a long argument about that, but he's going to trade for Zeke.
I feel like
great for Zeke.
I feel like with that too though, with Todd Gurley losing the goal line work, that scares me only because it's like remember in Minnesota when AP got hurt, right? They had Jerick McKinnon, Matt Asiata, taking it way back. Taking it back. Asiata was a startable fantasy option each week because he got the goal line.
He got the goal line work. but you got the best running back in the league at that time by 10 miles by anybody.
I feel like, truthfully, if you don't, okay, let's say you're like, I don't want to run Ty Gurley into the ground, which is what they're saying. They don't want to run him in the ground. I feel like there's more ways you can take reps away from him other than we get to the goal line. All right, Malcolm Brown, get in. Especially fantasy purposes. So I feel like it's a little dicey, especially with Amon, with his team. So I don't know. Kind of interesting. Malcolm Brown still on the waiver wire. Still on the waiver wire. Not trying to tell nobody to run their team.
I wouldn't panic this soon though. But I mean, it'd be a good handcuff.
If you're Amon.
Amon got. You got 4 quarterbacks. I think you still do got 4.
He does.
Yeah, you got 4 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Brissett, Allen, Rodgers, and Mayfield.
Right.
4 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Get a handcuff, dude.
Yeah. And
a handcuff.
Yeah.
And you could have had the. I'm not going into that, but I'm.
So yeah, exactly. That being said, well, that's kind of news around the league, kind of encompassing some of our league, some of the bellies and biceps league. But let's get into some topics here about our league, about the B&B league. Points on the bench.
Don't get me.
Before we talk about points on the bench, we didn't lead it this week with that show with this, but let's talk about it because I feel like it relates to our next topic of points on the bench. Get into a little deep thoughts with Ian. So, look, collect yourself.
Oh, we forgot to go.
Collect yourself.
That's supposed to be the intro.
But I feel like it's interesting for this topic what we're about to get into. So let's collect ourselves.
And what they did on Bad Boys to the cop?
Oosa. Okay, so what belief is holding you back? I feel like it's important. Points on the bench.
Like towards my team?
Points on the bench.
Points on the bench.
Well, just in general, what belief is holding you back? So we move to points on the bench. Lamar Jackson, the belief that was holding me back. I drafted him because I think he's going to be a great stud. I really do. I just was not ready to roll Lamar Jackson out there week one. I was trying to get that important week 1 win.
But they was always said though how terrible was the Miami Dolphins.
I just didn't think it was that bad.
I didn't think it was that bad.
I think our league could have got together, got a couple more dudes, and we could have played defense better than Miami Dolphins played. But that was my belief holding me back. Lamar Jackson, 51.56 points. Sammy Watkins. This is me and you matchup. 51.80. So, but again.
Like, just see who would have switched out.
Beliefs holding you back.
Yes.
You did not want to go out there and put the Lizard King Sammy Watkins.
No, because I didn't know what
to expect. Exactly.
But, you look at it now. Sammy Watkins.
In retrospect, easy to look at. So then we move in again. Eli Manning, 21.84.
Was he on the bench?
On the bench. He started Baker Mayfield.
No, not Baker Mayfield.
No, sorry.
He started Jameis Winston.
He started Jameis Winston over Eli Manning.
But everybody came out this year. Jameis Winston, the top 3, top 5 fantasy quarterback. You got Bruce Arians now.
Yeah, I just feel like you can't.
But I think Bruce Arians, like his offense.
I trust his offense. I just feel like Jameis Winston is not that
quarterback.
Good. Yeah.
When you do this and lick on your fingers, but you trying to eat a W? We're not eating W's.
He did not eat any W's.
He's not. Since then, you see the stat.
Yeah, I think
it's like 4 and 6.
Yeah, since he tried to eat that W, it's been downhill.
Like Deshaun Watson looked at him like, no.
So that being said, Eli Manning, he started Jameis Winston.
Not Watson, just Deshaun Jackson.
He started. Who he started? He started Jameis Winston over Eli Manning. See, I'm having trouble fathoming it. So, what belief you feel holding the commish back from starting Eli? Do you think he thinks Eli's washed up like everybody else? He thinks Eli's done?
No, they was moving the ball.
So that's how
I feel.
I feel like there's no way. Like There's no way Eli's not going to come out and at least beat Eli. He did the same thing last year. Oh, well, he's only got Odell. Odell gets hurt. Eli is still productive. In a 2-quarterback league. Let's talk about what belief is holding you back. Some of these guys in this league, I feel, don't value the importance of this is a 2-quarterback league.
Exactly.
If you have a top quarterback,
your second quarterback could produce more than your top receiver some weeks.
Exactly. And in most cases should. Quarterbacks always produce a lot in fantasy. When you throw it to a 2-quarterback league.
I was like a 2-quarterback league is like your second receiver, your third receiver, and your third running back.
Yeah.
And you got a flex.
Exactly. So, I mean, I don't know, you know. So then we get into Ted Ginn. That's one of those
options. Like
it happens.
It happens.
He's going to
It's not going to happen every week, but it's going to happen every few weeks.
That's why he's considered a flex option, because I feel like sometimes, you can put him in and he'll produce. Calvin Ridley, 16.4 points. Matthew Stafford, 38.60 points.
But you see, Calvin Ridley, because that offense wasn't doing nothing against the Vikings.
I had Julio Jones. Trust me, I know. Delaney Walker, 22.5 points. Do you think that puts Ian in a predicament? This is an interesting case to see what kind of fantasy player Ian is, because Delaney Walker puts up those points. He has Zach Ertz. What do you think he does?
And Zach Ertz doesn't have a game.
So what do you think he does? Zach Ertz, Delaney Walker.
I think they got too many weapons.
In Philly?
And Carson Wentz wants to clean the ball now.
Yeah.
You got Deshaun.
Yeah.
You got Deshaun, you got
the youthful Deshaun. I don't know where he found the youth, but
going back to Philly. Went through the Rocky fucking
he's back, exactly.
Went through the Rocky
he's flying high now, right?
Flying high.
Then interesting, Amon picked up Terrell Williams. You had to pick him up because you think, okay, he's gonna be the number one option. Has to be the only reason you pick him up. You pick him up. He's the number one option. He's the number one receiver. Terrell Williams, 27.5 points. What belief you feel was holding Amon back to not play Terrell Williams?
I mean, he had Tyler Boyd.
I would have started Terrell with Tyler Boyd.
Tyler Boyd?
I'd have started Terrell with Tyler Boyd.
See, because Terrell Williams is in Oakland.
Yeah, I'd have started him.
But you see that offense in Oakland, after you lost AB, you only got... That's all you had left is Tyrell Williams.
And Darren Waller.
Well, nobody knew about Darren Waller.
But I'm saying, tight end. You know how to use Darren Cook last year.
I mean, if you watched Hard Knocks, Darren Waller was...
And if you know... And I feel like if you just have a little common sense of football.
And you see
the tight end position. What did Jared Cook... He ate a W last year, all because what they kept doing was
tight end.
Dumping the ball off. When Derek Carr's in trouble, he's looking for the tight end.
And Derek Carr looked fucking good.
Very good. Very good. I feel like John Gruden is the QB whisperer.
And you should have put that on your points on the bench, because I had Trubisky that only gave me 8 points.
So that's it. So leaving points on the bench is gonna happen.
It's gonna happen, but if you got people that are like 50,
that hurts.
That hurts.
It hurts. It really does.
It didn't hurt me. I pulled out.
It hurts. It hurts your soul when you watch someone like Lamar Jackson just keep scoring touchdowns. I tell you what. Every time I checked and seen Lamar Jackson throw another touchdown, this was me. Like
he
I just
like
couldn't, I couldn't believe it.
5.
Yeah,
he threw 5.
5 touchdowns. I could not believe it.
They was running that fucking score up.
I feel like it wasn't intentional though. I just feel like Hollywood Brown, open route, he's going.
Exactly.
Speaking of, leads us into our next topic. Talking about waiver pickups. Tillman finished last, right? 80 didn't crack.
You got the first waiver pickup.
Did not crack 100.
Ooh, didn't even crack 90.
Didn't even crack 90.
Did he crack 90?
No, 86.
86.
So the champ coming off the crazy draft, coming off the Andrew Luck situation, coming off all that, has number one waiver priority. This guy goes out, drops Hunter Renfrow, which why was he on your team anyway? Drops Hunter Renfrow, goes pick up Marquise Hollywood Brown. How do you feel about him picking up Marquise Hollywood Brown? Number one.
He only played like 8 plays. Under 10 plays.
Yeah.
That's like... See, that's like... probably about... No, a few... Probably earlier today, I picked up Danny Amendola.
Yeah.
He had 13 targets this week.
Right. Marquise Brown...
Cortland Sutton, too.
Marquise Brown had I think 5, 6 targets.
No, yeah.
And he caught 4.
4. That's not going to happen every week.
6 targets, he caught 4, and he put up points. Do you feel like that's a thing? Do you feel like that's a reach with the number 1 waiver priority?
No, because they still have DK Metcalf on the board, too.
I went pick up John Ross not even a couple hours ago. Was still out there. I went pick up rookie wide receiver. Forgot. But
Tennessee? AJ Brown?
No. What's his name? I thought I picked him up. Moan went pick him up. Washington Redskins, rookie wide receiver.
Oh, terrible.
Like they had so many available options. Do you feel like the commission reached just a little bit for this pick? A little bit. Ready Freddy. Okay, obviously he had Nick Foles. He had to drop it. He picks up Marcus Mariota.
That's good. That's a solid pick.
Nick Foles was his backup quarterback. So, just to show the importance, we're talking about this on this podcast because he had to go off and pick up Marcus Mariota and drop Nick Foles in a 2 quarterback league. And most of the time, this news wouldn't even make the headlines. But in a 2 quarterback league, anytime a quarterback goes down, huge news.
Paul dropped Mariota last week.
Paul
dropped
Tennessee Homer. He drops Marcus Mariota. So then we go back, not to keep picking on the commish, but the commish comes back again.
Too soon.
Drops Jared Cook.
Too soon.
Drops Jared Cook. Picks up Mark Andrews. Again, do you feel like maybe the commish... Do you think the commission's hitting the week 1 panic button? He's trying to figure out, scramble to get points.
Too soon.
I do. Jared
Cook's going to produce.
Way too soon. Mark Andrews had a good game.
Like, if I had an extra roster spot on my thing, I'll go pick him up Jared Cook right now.
Mark Andrews, I tell you what, he had a very good productive game. I think he's going to be a good tight end.
I just think they ain't got a hot, like, that was week 1. You're going against the Dolphins. Let's see what they're going to do against who they're going up against this week.
I feel like this week you gotta. I feel like you gotta prioritize what's the important needs for your team.
Your team.
You went off and took Hollywood Brown, right? Then you go off and you add Mark Andrews. I really don't feel like he got that much better. I really don't. And
no. They're playing Arizona this week. I mean, this might be a.
I think Arizona's defense is trash. I do feel like the Ravens are going to be a good team, but are they as bad as the Dolphins?
And once they run that score up, well, he's still got the ball.
I mean, are they as bad as the Dolphins? I don't think so. I don't know what is as bad as the Dolphins.
But I wouldn't have dropped Jared Cook. That's week 1.
This early. If you drop Jared Cook, you have T.J. Hockenson. You have Darren Waller. You have these guys available to you, and I feel like you went with Mark Andrews, the lesser of the 2.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a tight end. I got 2 of them.
So that being said, we move into this wasn't pickups, but I feel like it was big moves. Let's talk about our drops. You dropped Darius Geis. I dropped Tevin Coleman.
See, guys, like. They said 4 to 8 weeks or 6 to 8 weeks, some shit like that. I was like, I can't roster them. I don't trust the Washington Redskins.
Yeah.
That offense ain't do nothing in the past since RG3 been there. Since
I do think. I
mean, they're gonna feed AP.
Paul had a good pickup with what's the quarterback's name right now?
Case Keenum.
I do believe in Case Keenum.
Yes.
He can sling the ball with the best of them.
But I don't trust the running. Like the running game's not that bad. But if they losing, they're not gonna go to the running game.
Also, I feel like the run game for the Redskins is just to set up the pass. Exactly. It's used to set up the pass. So that being said, guys out. Tevin Coleman, same thing, high ankle sprain. They said no timetable.
No timetable.
So
high ankle sprain, that's like 4 to 6 weeks, probably 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, and so I dropped Tevin Coleman quite honestly because it's like. I'm not gonna start him if he comes back because I just feel like Burrito's gonna Burrito's gonna get the W, and Burrito's gonna get the workload. So I don't trust having Tevin. I don't trust that San Francisco backfield.
No.
If they make that trade for Melvin Gordon, I will definitely trust the San Francisco backfield.
I just heard that today. He told me that today. I just heard that today.
So speaking of, let's get into our rankings, right? So I'll list off my 10. You list off your 10. We'll kind of compare them, and we'll talk a little bit about each team and stuff like that. So first I got Mud Dogs. I got you number 1. I got myself number 2. Kind of flip flop from last week. Of course, you beat me. Of course, we didn't have the most prolific, high scoring game in the league that week, but I still feel like we're still the top 2 teams. Number 3, I go with Burger King. I do feel like he has a good team. Like I said, it's just to see like how he handles some of those decisions. Delaney Walker versus Zach Ertz. Who do you start? What do you do? I feel like it's important to see where he goes with that. Number 4, Juicy J, top scorer in the league. Kane said he was coming back with the OG squad, flexing on him. He did what he was set out to do. Number 5, I got Roe.
Scored
I know one thing I'm positive of, and that's Roe's team's a hell of a lot better. But it's to see if he builds on that. Last season he did the same thing. Had a hot start, fizzled out at the end.
Hot start.
Then we go up to number 6. I got Case Closed Anthony. Number 7, Ready Freddy. Number 8, I got my man Paul. Number 9, Amon. He was at number 3. I moved him all the way down to number 9. That Tyreek injury, the workload of Gordon, the workload of Gurley. Number 10, Kamish. Come on, man. You didn't crack 100.
Whoa.
You didn't crack 100. So then we go into your top 10. Tell us who you got.
I mean, it's pretty much similar. We got maybe two out. That's flip flop. I'll go myself, number 1. I'll go Burger King, number 2.
Number 2.
Villains, number 3. Juicy J.
Number 4.
OGQB. Case Closed, number 5. Big Sango, number 6. Ray Freddy, the last same 4.
Yeah.
Kamish, come on, you gotta do something about the quarterback situation.
Read them and weave. Last 4 identical. So we'll put them up side by side, kind of show you a comparison. Like we said, very similar. Our list is very similar. I do think it speaks to some of the injuries and some of that, especially with the bottom teams. I do think like Ready Freddy, I think has room to improve. I don't necessarily say this was right off season.
No.
But Amon wrote, you've seen on his thing, changed his name to not finishing last Amon, so he's no longer Odrama or something like that.
He changed his name?
Or it was something.
Odrama?
Well, it was. I'd seen somewhere something like not finishing last or something.
Maybe
like that.
Maybe in the group chat.
Maybe, but he's not finishing last. Whatever. But I tell you, one person who should be concerned about finishing last.
The commish.
The commish, man. Them QBs. I tell you what though. As you jokingly refer to them, the Pittsburgh Rams, right? He's got shares in the Pittsburgh offense. Yes. He's got shares in the Rams.
Yeah, you got 3 Pittsburgh, the top 3. Where you got the top 3, and you got Brandon Cooks and Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, the
2 receivers this week.
The Pittsburgh Rams. So I feel like he's trying to be better. I feel like he's trying to make moves, but.
What about that draft day move though?
Closing this off, let's talk about a topic that's like, it's a jokingly, but it's kind of serious. You talking about the commish trying to get better. What's the ways to get better? Waiver options, right?
Options.
I feel like he didn't do that with the QB situation. He went on. I don't feel like he did that in the waiver wire.
I don't think Case Keenum.
So let's talk about trades. You can go into trades and make moves. However, you've seen the offer. He offered me Chris Godwin.
For a receiver 2 for a quarterback.
For any 3. He said pick one. I got Lamar Jackson.
That's your top.
I got Lamar Jackson, Dak, and Deshaun Watson.
That's your top 12 quarterbacks.
They top 3. They were top 3 this week.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You got a 10-man league. That's your top 10 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
That's like think about starters. I'm going to start them all week.
Exactly.
You're not thinking about starting Chris Goodwin.
Yeah.
This is a 2-quarterback league.
And
your trade value for quarterbacks goes up.
Through the roof.
Your quarterback 2 is like a receiver 1.
And if no one believes how important the quarterback position is, I feel like, truthfully, Anthony, case closed, I feel like he'd be a lot higher on both of our lists if he had dependable quarterbacks. He's got a squad. If this was regular, straight up league.
Like if I was him, I would trade one of those top receivers for the top quarterback and the number 3 receiver.
I'd try to move Odell. I'll be honest.
Odell, maybe even Keenan Allen. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna go in depth and say what I would do.
Right, I'm not gonna make you moves for you, but yeah.
There's guys that I would trade. Look at this roster right here. What do he need?
Yeah.
He need a receiver.
Yeah.
what do we got? 2 good quarterbacks.
Right.
You trade up. I'm not even going to get into that.
Exactly. Making some moves.
I mean, if one of y'all would come on to the podcast, I'll tell y'all what y'all do.
we'll try to help y'all out. If situated.
Some of y'all never made the playoffs.
Super true. All right, so let's close it up. That'll wrap it up for this week. Our week 2 podcast.
We try to condense it.
We try to condense it and keep it on a straight and narrow. Sorry if there wasn't enough jokes for you, Ian.
I mean,
be on the lookout for my video this week. They got plenty of jokes in that. All right, so that'll wrap it up. See y'all next week.